S&P 500 for May 12th, 2022. This is the one-day reading. Prudence card as the theme, so I'll already avoid trading. So guys, just to be clear, I won't be trading or advising. I don't advise any trading, but I won't even see opportunities really during retrograde because I'm gonna do my very best not to trade. I'm like, retrograde is a bad time to trade. So it actually turns retrograde. The station is on the 10th. Anyhow, so the May 12th, 2022 is the likely the high for the day, for the week, for the second week of May. Towards the end of the day, looks like we have a very notable move to the upside. We've got the star card for the theme. We've got news that comes out towards the end of the day. Okay. So, there's an important resistance level that's highlighted. It's crossed with the theme, so likely it looks like we're gonna break through it or something like that, and then we don't. Out of a decline. Alright, so out of a decline in the post-market from the prior day, we have a decline in the pre-market here with a push to the upside. Advised to be prudent here. This is where resistance is met. There's a resistance level that's met here. And then we fall sharply right around the open. Looks like whatever move we had to the upside, there's two things that could happen here. Either whatever move we had to the upside in the pre-market, it's retraced here in the first half hour, or we have a wave pattern that forms where we have a move higher, prominent move to the upside, and then an equal move back down to the same price level from where that move started, and that would take place in the first half hour. So both of those things can happen. One or the other can happen. We shall see. But there's retracement here in the first half hour, we could say that, and then a push higher between roughly 10 and 11. I'm advised to be prudent here. And look at that, guys. It was the high here from the prior day, right? So all right, so we break out, right? So we've got the success card here at the low. Right, we've been dealing with that success card as a significant of a price level throughout the entire week. Basically, we have it here. We break through it. It looks like momentarily on the 11th, right? And we had it here on the 10th. It was the high on the 9th, right? It was the theme on the 6th. So far it adds up when you look at the chart. It adds up. See that right here? This is the success card. Here's the 6th, right? We hit the success card, and then at the high on the on the 5th we hit the success card, and then the high on the 6th. Where are we? Right around that same price level. So, what I'm getting at is that that'll be the low. Roughly around there will be the low. On the 12th, and we have it's like there's like a peak and then a drop and then a peak, and that in there, that's where we will see the high. So likely we have a high here. Interesting. All right, okay, so back to the roughly 10 to 11 o'clock. So we have that move higher. I'm advised to be prudent there. The end of a trend, roughly between 11 and 12. Actually, yeah, it's more like rotation in this case. So it's a pause. It's like a temporary pause. So we move higher, temporary pause, some rotation, and then midday we move higher yet again. There's a trade opportunity in there. That's where I'm advised to be opening up a short position. We're gonna push really high there, right? And then we should retrace some of that between roughly 1 and 2 o'clock. But out of a decline or some difficulty here between roughly 1 and 2 after the day's high, there'll be a push. We'll likely revisit that same price level, that crest around the high of midday. Well, we should likely revisit that somewhere in the midst of some erratic behavior back and forth along a price level here between 2 and 3 o'clock ish. It looks like we have another day's high and a very prominent move here around the 3 o'clock mark. And then a trade opportunity at the end of the day. We're expecting to break out in that last hour, but instead we fail and we break down. And there's a sudden dip within a period of volatility right around the close. Profit taking from near overbought territory on the RSI in the post market. We have a sharp drop there. Whoa. Okay, we've got a sharp drop, guys. And it's Friday the 13th. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we've got a sharp drop. There's a lot of movement here off of the high. There's a lot of movement that takes place here towards the very end of the day out of the high. Or after the high, I should say. And for whatever reason, I've neglected to put a sneak preview card down there, so... I'll be back on for the next one, guys. Again, let me know if you like this type of video. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. You get all of our predictions. Usually we're way ahead of the curve here, but I just had so many sorts of issues with relocating and all sorts of stuff. In any case, it seems to be cooling down, at least temporarily through retrograde, through the middle part. So you'll see there'll be a lot more stuff coming out relatively soon. You'll see a lot. We'll get further ahead. And with that said, my friends, have a good night. I'll see